Coming up on Mountain News this morning, officials are looking for answers after a suspected murder-suicide in Corbin. And we want to remind everyone during National Stop on Red Week that stopping on time could save a life.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 5:31 this Wednesday morning, and happy first day of school to those who celebrate it. Meteorologist Mace Michael has a look at your first day forecast.
Madison, we're looking at warm temps here across the area. We have a few clouds and a few foggy patches, but most areas here are starting pretty comfortable. Your day beginning at 70 degrees here in Whitesburg. Some clouds passing through the region, not really too many of them, although some foggy areas noted here. In Hazard, you look back in the background, you can see some of the foggy patches up over the hills and through the mountains. You'll run into some fog through the area. Upper 60s again for the latest temp. Visibility show those pockets of where the fog is occurring. Harlan Hazard down to 3-mile visibility. Here in Williamsburg, around a half-mile visibility. So watch out for your travels this morning. May run into some very locally dense spots, but it's patchy. Upper 60s and low 70s to start your day, even as warm as the mid-70s there in Jackson, and Ashland starting off at 75. Here's a look at the satellite. Limited clouds over the last couple hours. There were a few showers to our north, rain well off to our east. I don't anticipate much in the way of rain today. It'll just be little pop-up showers with drier conditions here over the majority of the area. Forecast for today, our bus stop from Big Sandy Heating and Cooling, upper 60s now in areas of fog. Madison, we're into the upper 80s and low 90s later with maybe a shower or thunderstorm.
All right, Mace, thank you. The trial against a man accused of killing London police officer Logan Medlock will continue later today. Casey Bird, who requested a change of venue, is on trial in Warren County. He faces charges of murder, first-degree criminal mischief, possession of a controlled substance, and DUI in connection with the reported drunk driving crash in 2022. Witness testimony continued late into yesterday afternoon. The jury and witnesses also watched body camera footage of responding officers' first interactions with Bird after the deadly crash. Bird claims he swerved to avoid a deer. In Campbell County, Tennessee, officials with the TBI say a Campbell County man has been charged with murder after a body was found inside a vehicle last month. TBI officials say Audie Green was found dead along Highway 25 West back on July 17th. During the course of the investigation, the TBI says it was determined Joshua Cox had been a passenger in the vehicle and, quote, was the person responsible for Green's death. Police in Southern Kentucky are looking for any information that could be related to a possible murder-suicide. This after 2 people were found dead in a Corbin hospital parking lot Friday. Authorities say 39-year-old Michael Salisbury shot 35-year-old Shonda Parker before turning the gun on himself. Both victims had gunshot wounds to the head.
We would like to just talk to anyone that had contact with them that day or the days leading up to this to maybe see if we can determine the mental state of the subjects or see if maybe they had some underlying issues going on that would help us kind of get a motive for this.
Police say the two had children in common and had been in a relationship. Police in Corbin are looking for the suspect in an unusual break-in. Employees at the Subway in the Trade Mart shopping center noticed the business was broken into overnight. Surveillance footage captured a man entering the building through the drive-through window, then leaving with cash register boxes. But the suspect dropped his phone. He later went back to get the phone, but he didn't find it.
He came back at 3:30 a.m. and made a sandwich while he was inside and then left again. You can't make stuff like that up. It had to be drug related. I mean, I can't imagine that anyone in the right state of mind would have left their cell phone to begin with, but then when they came back and couldn't find their cell phone, just decided to make a sandwich.
Police identified the suspect as Timothy Randolph. They say he has been known to visit several homeless camps in the area. A West Virginia man wanted out of Kawanawa County for strangulation has been arrested. Reginald Moore was arrested in Dayton, Ohio on Tuesday morning. U.S. Marshals report Moore had been on the run since July of last year. Investigators discovered Moore had been traveling and hiding from law enforcement in West Virginia, Ohio, and Michigan. He is currently awaiting extradition back to West Virginia. In Buchanan County, Virginia, a man is facing a felony charge after police found a man with stab wounds. On Sunday afternoon, police received a call about a fight that happened on Deer Trail Road in the Van Zant community. After arriving, police found 43-year-old Robert Bruce Jones with stab wounds. Whitney J Owens was arrested and charged with maliciously stabbing with intent to maim, disfigure, disable, or kill. A Laurel County man is behind bars in connection with an attempted burglary. Police were dispatched to a home north of London on Saturday where they were told by a 911 caller that the man was beating on the front door and trying to pry open the window. That home was occupied by a woman. Witnesses also say 62-year-old Arlo Harris tried to break into multiple cars nearby. Harris was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. This week is National Stop on Red Week, a reminder to encourage folks to stay safe when driving through traffic lights. Alexa Minton spoke with AAA about the importance of staying extra cautious on the roadways.
It's a huge problem not only for Kentucky, but across the country.
Stopping at red lights might seem like common sense, but according to AAA of the Bluegrass, some Kentuckians could use a reminder.
Last year in Kentucky alone, we had over 3,900 crashes that involved a motorist ignoring a traffic signal, and unfortunately that resulted in 46 fatalities.
According to the National Association of City Transportation, folks on average spend a maximum of 60 to 90 seconds waiting for a red light to turn green, but oftentimes aggressive drivers show a lack of patience when speeding through an intersection.
Across the nation, we're seeing over 1,000 fatalities every year due to red light runners, as we call them.
But safe driving practices aren't always about the vehicle you're in control of. It's also about checking your mirrors, making sure the people driving around you aren't distracted as well.
If you are first in line and the light turns to green, don't just bolt out. Keep yourself safe and just take that second or two to make sure that oncoming traffic has stopped, that you don't have a red light runner coming at you.
Safe driving practices are important year-round, and things like avoiding speeding and not running through a yellow or stale green light could make the difference to save a life.
So when you think about people trying to save that tiny bit of time and putting their lives and others' lives at risk over those few seconds, it's a very sad situation.
In Lexington, Alexa Minton, WKYT.
Driving distracted and speeding are the top causes of red light running, according to AAA. It is always important to be wary of pedestrians as well when approaching intersections. The American Red Cross is issuing a blood emergency. They say emergency rooms are struggling nationwide and right here in the Commonwealth. In a little more than 1 month, the American Red Cross's national blood supply has dropped 25%, leading them to issue an emergency blood shortage. Both the Kentucky Blood Center and the American Red Cross had a special gift for donors yesterday. Anyone who donates will receive a $20 Amazon gift card. Yesterday, family and friends gathered at Church of the Resurrection in Harlan County to say goodbye to Mike Obradovich. Obradovich lived in Lynch and was a coal miner, historian, and more. He died on Friday at 77 years old. Friends agree Obradovich was a special person who will be missed not only by those close to him, but by all who had the chance to meet him.
I noticed Mike in one thing, that he could just relate to so many young people and teach them about the heritage of what Lynch is and what it meant to him.
Arrangements were handled by Tri-City's funeral home. We will have much more about Mike Obradovich and his Bulldog Room at 6. When we return, Disney fans everywhere will soon feel the price of their Disney Plus subscription increasing.
Warm day today with high temperatures climbing up into the low 90s, 70s now, 90s later with only isolated storms. A look at the full forecast next.